In the world of creation, there are plasmas. And in one inertia, we create, that part of the plasma becomes manifest in that element. In a way, we have one big piece of cake and we cut it to a small and medium or whatever we like. And this is the way the plasma sits in the body of the man. All plasmas, in essence, are very much like a deuterium, a complete cell, a structure. And then, according to the field strength of these two, the neurosystem and the magnetic field of the blood, and in the presence of the field of the soul of the man, dictating what is needed where, it becomes that element in that point that's become part of the cell. In essence, as I said, the hormones decide this field, and the body of the man creates this from the interaction of the fields of the nerve. And one brings the current, and one brings the field. And how these fields interact with the balanced field energy of the environment and the lymph, it becomes the energy of the lymph transferred into to become the cell in a plasma condition as we see the cell of the body. The world of science, biology has been set upside down. And in the world of creation of the atmospheric condition of this planet, Mr. Cohen, which is the essence of the what we call amino acid of the body of the man, has a fixed structure. How many of it, how they are connected to another element, we call it vitamins, we call it hormones, we call it matters or whatever. If you have a Mr. Cohen sitting in your the structure of your lymph in such a position, and it needs to change to set off the, what do you call it, let's say, set off your nose or your toe, and then how much field strength in what capability or capacity has reached it will dictate its structure. In the presence of other elements like magnesium and calcium. And body, if you look at it and go back to the teaching of a few years ago, has block the space developments. And these block of spaces we know. You got carbon, nitrogen, and hydrogen. We got the sodium here with its boundary. We got sulfur here with its boundary. We got the next step, potassium and calcium in this boundary section. And then we have the elements of the metals, iron, which you have the cobalt on one side of it, because now at the heavier level, you need a heavier interaction of the fields, where here it can be done on its own. And then you move with the interaction of the small carbon position, you come to creation of the, what we call the copper and zinc. These are what we see. And this is the interaction of these blocks in different way, in different condition of the field strength, what we call salinity, has led to the creation of the man in total essence. One, in totality of the control, which what we call the hormones, in interaction of with some, and then on this end, the creation of the cells. And somewhere in interaction with totality of the control, we call it emotion and the soul of the man. Life, creation of life on this planet is very simple, but we never understood. Why do we see the presence of silicon here at N28? Because look, where does it say? Look at the condition of Mr. Cohen here. Where does it link into?
Yes.
Where does the potassium and calcium sit on this end? Where there is a combination of the totality in field of radiation. And then you add an oxygen to it, you come to this point. But these are all in a plasmatic condition. They are not in a field condition, in matter state condition. And that's why it has created so much confusion in the world of science.
Yes,
you have
it's the opposite
what
side.
we call the carbon and hydrogen. You have the interaction of the oxygen in any of these, which is the gravity point of view, and then you look at the different oxides. Look at the cycle of the life in biology in a plasma condition, as we do, then you understand it becomes very easy.
So this 28.
You take any of these conditions, and as we always tell you, add an amino acid to it, and you see the cycle of life, how it reacts to the combination of the protein existence of the creation on this planet. Life, the biology of physics is very, very simple.
This 28, which you said, it's selenium, is it the field forces or field masses? How big
It's all
it
field
is?
forces. We don't have matter condition in the body of man.
We have no mass of fields. I mean, the space, the space
I
of.
can't understand what you mean.
Yeah, okay. So it's just the strength of it. So each plasma has its strength.
Its own strength, yes. And then in respect to the environment of it, it reacts and dictates. The environment is created by salinity of the collection of the materials. We allow you to be created according to this salinity to become the cell of the kidney. We change the salinity slightly, you become a liver. In a way, we dictate inertia. I always call salinity as the inertia, which in respect to the fields of the environment allows the manifestation of the matter in that point. This is what the world of science has made too many names for it. If you put the salinity as inertia, then we know how elements, how cells are created anywhere in the body.
And can we
It's
create?
like you have a salinity and field strength, which what we call the inertia, and you create the sand on the desert, you change the inertia, you become the gold in the mine.
And we can create
In a way,
space.
the field of interaction from the plasma state to the matter state, what we call inertia, is the true understanding of the essence of the creation in the matter state. What is the strength to change you, to convert you from matter to what we call from fields to matter? And this is what I said. This is what we see with sulfur, around about 34. Because the next step, 35, 36, and on, will bring unbalance in additional neutrons, then become energy interactions. Where we see the chloride on this side, and we see what we call the phosphor on this side. Physicality and then boundary between the two. Cleansing. That's what we see sulfur as a cleaning material in the body. Cleaning in a way, bringing balance between the two, which way we're going to is a double agent, works on both sides.
So
You see
in
the
our
repetition
box,
of the balanced neutron and proton in other states imbalance. Mainly we see it in what we call some of the inert gases behavior. Not all of it, because now we have to learn about the plasmatic inert gases which we have no knowledge about. We know inert gases in the matter state, but plasma inert gases which leads to radiation, plasmatic radiation, is unknown to man in the future. I'll teach this. I used them in the first Iranian nuclear space reactors. It's not something new. If you read in the pattern, it's clearly indicated, but you look at it as a matter state, but look at the plasma state, then you understand. When we speak about matters like argon and helium and that kind of thing, you look at the matter state field radiation, because through the interaction in the vacuum condition leads to the creation of fields, radiation fields of alpha, and in some cases we can produce as much as gamma radiation to it. But the gamma radiation, alpha radiation in the world of plasma is useless. It's so weak that it cannot operate, or it's too strong that it destroys. So mankind needs to learn new understanding of the plasmatic radiation fields with a different strength. Any other question?
thank you
You
very
see,
much.
here, I'll show you something very interesting. Can we change the camera, please? If you look, can we go on camera, please? If we look at here, I especially brought this up because of the teaching of it. This is calcium. This is the essence of the creation of physicality of the man. That's why you stand up. Without it, and respect to its position of it, you will not be able to have arms and legs and fingers to be in a position. Here you have the zinc, which is the essence of the emotion field transfer. But many of you have never seen this because you don't produce it. But this is phosphor, the essence of the backbone of what you call the DNA. What this does in respect to what we call the CO2 and the zinc, and in respect to calcium and itself, this, by coming into operation, in respect to energy pack of CH3, the original sugar of creation, gives you a combination of what we call the DNA of the man, with the structure that DNA has within its structure a condition to give physicality. Without this phosphor, you have no DNA. And without the calcium, which is sitting somewhere here, you have no physicality of being as a man. I take this one out of the body of the man, you're just a jelly on the floor. Even your cells would be a plasma pack. When we add this phosphor into it, it's got a specific characteristics. When you see it, you understand its fields of interaction. Its field in respect to amino acid, it creates different position and the twist in helix effects of the DNA. So if you give me as a man in a space or in a laboratory, a combination of these, I will make you the man with emotion, with physicality, with everlasting life, that what you call the sugar of life, which itself is a carbon which connects to CO2, and with it releases the energy for the whole structure to sustain itself. This is why I said many times, give me a skull and I'll make you the man. In whole physicality, because understand the process of creation with emotion, with the physicality of upright standing, with understanding of the DNA. Because through this phosphor, through understanding of the operation of the CH3 and CO2, and adding in interaction of the 2 or 3 of them together, I can create the copper existence to build the physicality of the muscle. I can create you any man, any creature. This is why in world of science, without many of us understanding, scientists say a mouse is 95%, 98%, it's the same as the man, because we are created all of the same amino acid. This is how we position it in respect to energy of the earth, which gives us a mouse feeling or a lion or the man. If I keep on shaking and vibrating these two in putting it down, letting it up, shaking it up, putting it up, laying it up, being able to walk it, I create intelligence and emotion. If I bring magnesium into it, I create you the vertical. That's why man is intelligent, because intelligence comes how much we can vibrate and shake things together, and how we interact the composition of the material, how we position them in respect to each other. So in the universe, if I change, as I said last week, from this environment to the chair or this position, I create you another being, even though I have the same materials. So in life, we have to understand the process of creation, because the magnetic field of this environment gives me an oval shape, different structure. The magnetic field of this environment is circular and different structure. One is slightly different than in respect to the Earth's gravitational magnetic field, or in respect to the central position of the universe. Then it's very easy to understand. We can change these things. As I said, we go from the matter to plasma, or the plasma to the matter. How much energy in the field interaction and the fields of the plasma we create dictates what kind of being we will create in the depth of the universe and in space, with what behavior and what understanding. As we say in beautiful language of Arabic, Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. It means this from the beginning to the end, if you understand it. If we understand the beauty of the knowledge, barakat means the beauty, then what we are given, the gift, then we understand the process of the creation. We understand from the beginning to the end. But in between, man has got lost in the knowledge, or he hasn't had the time to gather enough knowledge to reach that. So you give me this as a phosphor, I'll make you the man. I can create any amino acid, and I can create any DNA which creates the life of this planet.